This is 5 on 20 News. We've got the news of the day, and the newscasters are gay. With Sean Madrid
and Luke Goodhart, joining you live from our studios in downtown Tucson. First, local headlines.
Tucson supervisors have decided to delay a vote to allow Monsanto to receive tax breaks in exchange for setting up a greenhouse in Marana. They made the decision after citizens spoke out passionately against the deal at a recent town hall. Monsanto is the largest bioengineering company in the world and has been criticized for the spread of genetically modified organisms, which some scientists say can be harmful to humans. Tucson residents showed up to the town hall to register their uneasiness with having Monsanto located so closely to their homes. The company has also been accused of harming the biodiversity in areas where they operate. Supervisors say that they needed more time to make a decision in light of the negative comments from local farmers, who have said that Monsanto would destroy their businesses. Monsanto bigwigs say that they are disappointed with the decision, but were still hopeful that they would be given the opportunity to destroy southern Arizona's ecosystem.
Photographer Eric Kroll discovered a disgusting little piece of poetry in Tucson today. Painted on the cement at a bus stop at 22nd and Kolb are the words, "With Jews, you lose." The graffiti is yet another reminder that Trump's win has enabled a stream of racists to express their bigotry openly. We saw the rash of vitriolic messages the day after Trump's upsetting victory, and now the hate has permeated to the Old Pueblo too. If you see something like this around our city, follow Kroll's lead and send us a pic. Our email address is info@creativetucson.org.
Meanwhile, Tucson has been named the 23rd most giving city in the country. Travelocity has cobbled their pre-Thanksgiving list, and Tucson has cracked the top 25. Travelocity compiled the list by scouring the web for social media posts that included the hashtag charity, donate, and volunteer. The cities that used those hashtags the most were ranked highest on the list. I suppose that's not the worst way to measure generosity, but hopefully folks were actually participating in charity work instead of just posting about it. Travelocity said in their write-up, quote, "The beauty of Tucson and surrounding Sonoran landscape is eclipsed by the beauty of its residents' kind hearts." They also cited local organizations The Angel Charity and Ben's Bells and talked about the Be Kind motto that is seen all over town. Hopefully, the "With Jews You Lose" graffiti artist from our last story will see the light and integrate that sentiment into his or her life. Casa Grande, our neighbors to the north, eclipsed us, snagging the 14th spot. Can you guess who is the most giving city in the country? Well, it's Casper, Wyoming. They secured the top spot.
Well, Sean, despite our high marks for giving, the Tucson Food Bank has reported a large increase in demand and a shortage on supplies. They reported a 65% increase in people arriving each day compared to the average. November and December are traditionally the busiest times for food banks. So consider donating so you won't feel as bad after eating that third slice of pie and downing a bottle of whiskey while your aunt tells you her reasons for voting Trump. The Tucson Food Bank is located at 3003 South Country Club Road and is open for donations from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to noon on Saturdays. You can also donate money online at donate.communityfoodbank.org. And now in national and international news.
President Obama granted clemency to 79 federal drug offenders on Tuesday, bringing the total number of sentences commuted to over 1,000. White House counsel said the commutations would continue until the end of Obama's presidency next month. Obama's decision to grant clemency comes at the close of an era that saw mass incarceration in the United States, especially among drug offenders. Incarceration rates have dipped over the past 5 years from their highs in previous years. However, there are still 191,000 federal inmates. That number has not budged since 2006. One such commutation involved a Grateful Dead fan who was sentenced to life in prison for selling LSD. That situation sounds horrible. Obama's move set the record for number of sentences commuted over the U.S. presidency. But things look even more grim as President-elect Donald Trump gets ready to take over, with Trump giving no indication that he would loosen drug laws in the U.S. His sidekick, Mike Pence, was especially hard on drugs when he was governor of Indiana, waiting until an HIV crisis broke out in the state before he was nearly forced to institute a needle exchange program. We can all just imagine for-profit prison companies licking their lips as we speak.
President-elect Donald Trump met with the staff and editors of the New York Times on Monday, swatting away campaign promises like mosquitoes. Trump called the meeting because he's been frustrated with the Times coverage, which he has called unfair. He spent about 75 minutes with the press, using the time to deliver a lukewarm condemnation of the neo-Nazi movement and sounding oddly sympathetic toward Hillary Clinton, a woman whose life he basically ruined over the past 18 months. Are we okay with the fact that our future president acts like an abusive husband? Okay, we are. Trump said he would not seek to prosecute Clinton further and would stop any further FBI investigations, which is normally considered a violation of presidential powers. Trump also seemed to confuse the presidential powers when discussing his business interests. He said that he doesn't plan to give over his business to a blind trust and that his real estate deals are too complex to sell. He insisted that his children would run his business empire and that he would stay in contact because he's the president and he can do that. That statement is outrageously false, even by Trump standards. During the interview, Trump also said that his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, would not violate anti-nepotism laws that bar family members from serving in office. In response, Trump promptly divorced his daughter Ivanka Trump in order to free a diplomatic post for Kushner.
And Russia continues to assert itself as the bad kid in class, as they proved through some recent aggressive tactics. NATO warned Russia about a missile system installed at Kaliningrad, near the Baltic Sea. Vladimir Putin responded that Russia is only trying to defend themselves against NATO aggression, taking the Trump route and playing the victim. Russia has long opposed the U.S. missile system in Europe, and NATO claimed that this was an act of military posturing. The European Parliament has become increasingly concerned with Russia's influence, especially with Donald Trump's statements regarding Russia being a potential ally. Trump has also criticized NATO as being irrelevant. On Tuesday, the EU Parliament voted to deepen coordination with NATO, in part because of Trump's statements. On the same day, Russia continued to smuggle jet fuel to civil war-torn Syria, defying an EU order to stop transporting the fuel through EU waters. In October, Russia delivered 20,000 metric tons of fuel to the Syrian government, along with providing military support to the Assad regime. Assad, with help from Russia, has been bombing the city of Aleppo mercilessly, including destroying many of the hospitals in the city. Putin capped off his week by giving a swirly to EU Commissioner Jean-Claude Juncker in the EU headquarters bathroom before spray painting Trump 2016 on the wall.
Hundreds of Haitian refugees are stuck in Nogales as they wait for permission to enter the U.S. Nogales police report that the Haitians have been sleeping in the streets for weeks, waiting for an appointment with U.S. authorities to establish their refugee status. Haiti was crushed by Hurricane Matthew, just one of multiple natural disasters which devastated the country. Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. So far, only 6 of the Haitians have been let into the country, all of them women and children. The refugees look forward to getting across the border and being blamed for all of America's economic problems.
A federal judge has blocked an Obama administration rule that would order overtime pay for over 4 million of America's salaried workers. Judge Amos Mazant said that the Labor Department doesn't have the authority to determine who is eligible based on salary alone. The law would have declared that all salaried workers be paid at least $47,500, or they would need to be classified as an hourly employee where they would receive overtime. The law exempted certain professions if they performed executive or administrative duties. Opponents of the rule said that the salary amount was arbitrary and therefore illegal to impose on businesses, which would bear the brunt of the increase. The Obama administration is debating on how to proceed with the ruling. They can appeal with a federal court in Louisiana, but the court has historically been opposed to worker-friendly laws. They are considering withdrawing the rule with the incoming presidency of Donald Trump, who singled out the law as being an example of government interference in American business. Workers were encouraged to speak out against the ruling and contact their congressmen, but unfortunately they all had to work.
And I wanted to take a moment to talk about the program you're watching right now. Here at 5 on 20, we are undertaking a new kind of citizen journalism. We are going to give you the news as we see it, and we want more people to speak up with us. We need writers, hosts, anchors, camera people, sound people, the whole gamut. The times require a new way of informing ourselves, so join us. Do it. Do it now. Email us at info@creativetucson.org to get involved.
This was Sean Madrid
and Luke Goodhart for 5 on 20 News. Next up, Sophie Gibson-Rush tells us what's what with music this week.
Hi, I'm Sophie Gibson-Rush from KXCI, here to share with you what's curious or quality this week in local music. First of all, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. If you're not sure of your plans or if you're in the market for a surrogate family, I'd like to humbly offer dinner at my mom's house to anyone who might need it. We eat around 6. Facebook me for an address. My mom is a classical pianist, so there's always a lot of music at family gatherings. She has an odd habit of listening to funeral requiems while she cooks. You'll love it, I promise. That said, let's skip to after Thanksgiving when the musical calendar really picks up again. On Friday at Congress, we have Suite F compilation release, presented by Strike Accord Music. In their words, a local business recording and writing and producing music, as well as giving lessons and instructions on drums and other instruments. Their recording studio space looks really cool. You can check it out at a video they posted on their Facebook. The lineup for this show is great, featuring Mute Swan, Garbosky, Brass Hands, Havarti Orchestra, and Michael Seeley. Here's something I couldn't figure out. Are all these people playing, or are they all on the record? And if they're all playing, will it be a 5-hour concert? In my experience, 5-hour marathon concerts are a potential path to enlightenment, or they court total wipeout. Or are they one and the same? We'll find out. On Saturday, the 26th, Orquesta Mendoza comes home from a big old European tour to bring us tunes from their new and amazing album, Vamos a Guarachar. This homegrown Latin big band has enjoyed ever-growing success since it began, which is absolutely wonderful, but also completely unfair because we here in Tucson don't get to see them as often as we would like. This show at the Rialto is one of a handful they'll play at home this year, so don't miss it. On November 18th, the band released a video filmed here in Tucson by local photographer and filmmaker Abril Castillo. Abril and her daughter, Lulu, were killed in a tragic car accident on I-10 on October 18th, and Orquesta Mendoza dedicated the video to them. This video has such charm and affection for Tucson's culture. Even though it's shadowed by tragedy, it's impossible not to smile. Here's just a little bit.
Del desierto de Sonora, Tucson, Arizona, avenida feliz para el mundo. Sergio Mendoza y su orquesta. Con la voz del cantante de cantantes, Salvador. Wow.
gastar, que te corre la pandilla. Tienes que ir en chinga para poder llegar. Maneja con cuidado, no te vayas a matar. La gente ya te espera para verte luchar. La gente ya te espera.
Cover it. That was Orquesta Mendoza, filmed by Abril Castillo. What do you know about local hip hop? However you answered, While You Slept, hosted by Big Meridox, promises to enrich your knowledge. This is a showcase of Tucson's underground hip hop artists at Flycatcher on Friday. It features High Rise One, TR3, and J Tilt. It's my sense that this genre doesn't really get its due in the desert, so getting educated and getting supportive is a good place to start if you want to see it grow. On Sunday, the 27th, at Congress, Gemma Ray from Berlin, touring under her new album, The Exodus Suite. She describes herself as pop noir, and the music is heavy and fanciful with elements of Bjork and classical westerns. Opening for her is Tucson's own Karima Walker. Karima performs completely solo, and the first time I saw her play, she transformed a group of rambunctious drunk kids into a respectfully silent crowd of devotees. Her voice is something else, like it comes from the top of a mountain or deep in the forest, or she steals it from the wind. Karima is definitely one to watch, if not for fame, for innovation. She has a clear and specific vision, and her soundscapes, videos, and visuals all fit. For my last thing, I'm going to cheat a little bit and talk about a band from Phoenix. Phoenix is almost local, right? Synth pop duo March, spelled M-R-C-H, just put out a video for the song Glitter McQueen, and it was featured on Consequence of Sound. Congrats, you guys. The video is fun and strange, and sometimes we just really need to go out on a great pop video. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and enjoy March.
Pretty sweet video. Thanks for tuning in to 5 on 20 News. We'll be off for the rest of the long holiday weekend, so you're on your own. But we'll be back here Monday at our normal 5 o'clock slot to help you pick up the pieces. Let's get cooking, Sean.